one thing to lose your temper during a tennis match.
The supervisor said go ahead and play. So why do you say you don't play? Let's go!
But it's another thing to lose your temper and your marbles in front of millions of people around the world.
He made a lineswoman cry, you know, right there on the court.
There's no problem, but come on.
Join us as we count down the greatest racket smashes, verbal assaults,
That ball was out!
and overall boorish behavior that has ever happened on a tennis court.
Not a nice feeling for an 18-year-old to have the whole stadium against you.
As Tennis Channel presents the best of 5 temper tantrums. Now, before we get started, it's important to note what constitutes a proper tennis temper tantrum.
The guy that is usually throwing the temper tantrum is losing, and it's a little windy, he's probably shanking some balls.
Yeah, usually a bad call, or you miss an easy shot, or you're losing to someone you think you should beat, and you can get pretty upset from there.
Maybe if you're playing bad, sometimes you're getting like crazy.
You can go into a match, you don't feel 100%, and then the heat gets to you.
Just kind of keep snowballing. You'll be losing, then you'll get a bad call.
Oh, really, was it? How come you waited 2 seconds?
That's how it always escalates. You know, a difference of opinion.
When you finish this match, watch the TV. Then come to me and say, I'm sorry.
You feel like you're trying your guts out there, and then you just get screwed.
Damn it! Damn it! Who is deciding here?
Like gasoline on the fire.
As tensions build, it's not just the players who snap, so do their rackets.
You always have to have a racket throw of some kind, I think, to have a good temper tantrum.
There we go.
On a tour with no off-season, tempers flare. And these player feuds have everyone asking, where's the love?
To see these guys every week, you don't want to have these feuds in the locker room, but there are.
Keep your mouth shut out here.
You try to be calm out there, you try to have no crap, but tensions run high. You know, there hasn't been a huge fight in the locker room, but there's going to be one.
There was a couple of situations that throughout my career and in 10 years that I've seen that a couple of great fights could be in the court, and one time it has to happen just for fun.
The tough thing is there's like that 1-year suspension that the ATP will slap you with if you actually throw the punch.
Now that we have a full understanding of what makes a proper temper tantrum, let's get started. Kicking off the countdown at number 5 is Swiss Miss Martina Hingis' famous meltdown in the finals of the 1999 French Open. At the time, 18-year-old Martina was the #1 player in the world and had won every Grand Slam except for the French. Her opponent, 29-year-old Steffi Graf, was the clear underdog and fan favorite.
The crowd was obviously rooting for Steffi heavily, but Hingis was totally dominating the match.
Already up a set and 2-love in the second, Martina would receive what she thought was a bad call, and then pull a move so brash that even the French thought it was rude.
No, don't do that. You got defaulted if you do that.
Once she crossed the net and went over there and was looking at the marks, that's when it started crossing the line.
Everyone knows the rules. That's not one where you made a mistake. She just blatantly disregarded that.
You don't cross the French crowd in tennis. That's just an unwritten rule because they're brutal. When they hate you, they hate you.
With the match slipping away, Martina would reach her breaking point as she tried to flush away Steffi's momentum with a timely bathroom break.
Martina Hingis with a bathroom break, but Hingis very deliberate in her return.
In the pros, you don't really do that, do you?
That was the beginning of the whole strategic bathroom break on the women's tour. They got rules about it.
There's heavy gamesmanship on the women's tour. It's got to be a nightmare.
And just to add one last cherry to the top of this meltdown, at match point against, Hingis would deliver an underhand serve not once, but twice.
That's something that you would never do in your right mind, playing in front of millions of people on TV. You know, that's something that you wouldn't even do to your mom at a park.
It was like, I'll show you and I don't really care. And it was something that I think she regretted a lot afterward.
Not a nice feeling for an 18-year-old to have the whole stadium against you.
Hingis lost the match and proceeded to stomp off the court.
She was so young, and we all have done things that we wish we had done differently, but we don't have the world watching us when we're doing it.
Martina, you're going to have so many more chances to win, so don't worry about it, please.
Despite Steffi's prediction, Martina would never win another slam. Ah, c'est la vie. Time to put away the Kleenex. We have the craziest night under the lights at the US Open coming up next.
I'm telling you right now, you play or it's a game.
But first, here's the story of a great temper tantrum from Jimmy Arias that deserves a dishonorable mention.
Gary Muller just said to the umpire, "Can I get fined for what I think?" And the umpire said, "No." And he goes, "Okay, I think you're an asshole."